how being an autodidactic helped me become a stronger entrepreneur. Now, a lot of you might not know what autodidactic is. It's just equivalent to a self-learner. So I always say this, a lot of entrepreneurs, they kind of stick in one particular realm when it comes to whether it's spirituality or science or technology or whatever else that they're doing. And because of the fact that, you want to know almost everything, because of the fact if you having that as a tool, you know what to look for in other people, not in just yourself. So the last video I touched on how many books that I read. I do that because I continue to keep myself learning no matter what. I've been a self-learner for the past 6 years now. So I've got out of my comfort zone of learning new things. Yeah, my brain starts to hurt after a while, but when you get used to building that into a program, into your life, little bits of you break off. I'm going to say that again. So we all have different programs in us, right? Some of us more than others. Some of us, society has kind of told us that we are. But in actuality, we're vessels, right? We're just a clean slate. And if you think about this, being an autodidactic, it's you got to have a survival mentality, right? You got to be willing to learn, you got to be curious, you got to be open, and you got to be willing to grasp to new challenges. And one of the things that I learned was, about 3 years ago, I taught myself a little bit of Python, going back and forth, and then I got into neuroscience research, and then I got into computational neuroscience, and I continue to go down this road. So think of it this way. It all kind of started with the books that I was reading. I kept on reading, and it was a dopamine spike that we say, right? Action potential spike that we say, that allowed me to want to open up more because there was something that I didn't know. So being an entrepreneur, if you're all the way down, that's great. It's good. It's good for you. But think about the other entrepreneurs that have vast knowledge of domains. So say if they go down, say 75% in each particular domain, other than an entrepreneur or a specialist that goes all the way down deep in one. They're great to have on your team, but as a founder and entrepreneur, you got to have someone with vast amounts of skill sets. And that's only when an entrepreneur lowers his ego to learning more things. It's only when you stop learning that you get complacent. That means your company gets complacent. That means your team gets complacent, and then when that happens, you're finished. So, as a startup founder, I have to know, vast different domains in order to be successful. Not just me, but then I also think about it for my team. Like I want to make sure I'm teaching them things, and they're teaching me things, and that's how learning occurs. So, as a founder, as an entrepreneur, you want to make sure that you are, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it's uncomfortable to read some books that you don't want to read, or to take a course that you don't want to take a course, or retrain your brain to learn different things that you might have thought were frivolous before. But what you realize is over time, almost everyone is an autodidactic, almost. But the gladiators, we call them, the founders, the entrepreneurs, those are the ones that really grasp onto that. The true ones that really grasp onto it and say, you know what, I can go into any situation learning. You get bad feedback from an investor or no feedback at all. You gotta be willing to take it on the chin and learn from it. Grasp whatever he said, and then, you know what, let me read up on how to approach this particular person, or let me read up on how to approach this particular situation, and then let me test it out in the wild. These things, what they'll do is they're going to remove certain programs out of you, and then they're going to put other programs inside of you. The number one program you should have inside of you is curiosity. That's the number one thing you should do. If there's one thing other than being a lifelong learner, it should be curious. And every entrepreneur should be curious. They should be curious about their domain. They should be curious about the next domain. They should put people around them in 10 different domains so they don't forget anything. That's why a lot of these companies some of them have grown to be these vast org charts, because of the fact that They have different people in different domains, so they don't miss anything. And a true entrepreneur knows he doesn't know everything, but he has to know where to look. That's the tricky part. You don't have to know everything in life, but you got to know where to look for. And then if you don't know the answer, you got to have a person or a friend or someone that knows more than you. So I would say this. For people that want to, learn more about themselves, understand that you're a vessel. Understand that you have things that excite you, but everyone always is usually resting until something excites them, right? Always resting until something excites them. Be an area of change for curiosity. If you run your own business, tag your name, tag your business. I want to see it. Follow up with us. So understand this, being an autodidactic and understanding that I have to continue to teach myself things. And I have to be the person that's driving the seat because that's where I am at mentally. I want to make sure that I'm driving this vessel. And to do that, the only way to do that is to continue to be a self-learner. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a founder, tag your business below. Let me know what you think. If you're an autodidactic, hey, I would love to share stories with you. Hardships about learning when I was younger, all the way up till now. And because they all have this quote on you only use 10% of your brain, which is crap. And then you have the fact that you can't teach old dogs. All of these words that happened and occurred, they mean nothing. They don't mean nothing because it doesn't matter. It's in honesty, you can learn whatever you want at any time. Will it hurt? Will it be painful? Absolutely. But once your brain and your mind mesh, you can do whatever you want. So again, follow, like, and share, and please comment below if you have a company. Thank you.